Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is How to Plan for Impact, episode number 3 with your girl, Kanisha Moselle, Coach K. This is the Builders and Blueprint space, and I am excited for us to be here together again. We have been here every Thursday this month, and it has been phenomenal. I want you to know that I'm excited for this space, and the takeaways and the feedback that you all have been given is phenomenal. So, hey, we're going to go ahead and jump into it. And today I'm going to give you tips for the visionary. If you're watching this in the replay or comments, I want you to repeat after me. Say tips for the visionary. As you're coming in, if you got a builder introduction, I want to invite you to go ahead and drop your introduction in the comments. Coach K, what do you mean by that? What is a builder introduction? The builder introduction says that my name is Kanisha Moselle. I help women take ownership of their wellness, personally, relationally, professionally. That is a builder introduction. I know you can do it. Go ahead and practice it. So when you get in a room with us in September for our Ready Set Network, you already have your introduction intact. All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and get into it. Remember, today we are talking about planning for impact. And when you're planning for impact, there are 4 tips. Say 4. You know, I always do 3. But today I'm going to give you 4 quick tips, and we're going to prepare for our climax on next week. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and get into it. So what are we talking about today? Tips for the visionary. 4 tips for the visionary. And again, I'm excited about this because I have to practice this with who? Myself. My name is Kanisha Moselle, and I help leaders, visionaries, and entrepreneurs unclutter their minds so they can execute with excellence the way they serve, they sell, and they scale. Okay. Why? I want it to be sustainable. If you're intentional about how you serve, how you sell, and how you scale, you can do anything, and it'll have some legs to stand on. Okay. Sustainability. It's real big on my heart right now. All right, y'all. So I am referencing the Plan for Impact workbook, which is one of my favorite resources. I started off in event planning. And so in my pivot from event planning exclusively for weddings, I decided that I wanted to help leaders and visionaries with community impacting visions and projects to make an impact with how they plan. So today's points are going to give you a little bit more of that event planner brain, but event planner who really, really cares. Okay. So the first tip is macro vision before micro vision. Say it again with me. Macro vision before micro vision, right? This is so important. This is so important because I often come across clients or in spaces and conversations where we are ready to tell people all of these things and invite them, but we don't have enough of our micro together in order for the macro to make sense. And the macro isn't clear enough so that you can plan your micro strategically. Am I making sense? Hopefully I'm not talking in in code. Okay. So what is more important? The vision. What is supposed to happen? Who is it supposed to happen to? How do you want it to happen? And when it happens, what is it at the end of it? You understand what I'm saying? Okay. So you got to think macro before you think micro, before you decide what color the tablecloths are, what color the flower arrangements are, and what handouts you want to provide people. You need to know who the event is for, what you want them to take away. And even if you want them to come back, do you want them to invite someone else? How do you want them to be able to follow up with you after the event is done? Are you going to see them in 365 days, or do you want to check in with them in the next 14 days? That is a macro part of the vision. If your intention is to establish relationship and begin building community, then how you plan around the macro of your event is the first thing that needs to be clear, because the colors, the handouts, your greeters at the door, all of that plays a role once the macro is intact. All right. So your first tip was think macro before micro. We can go into the micro all day long, but if your macro is not intact, you can't even invite certain people to be in the space, to be participants, to be in the room, to be a speaker, because you don't know enough for them to tell you yes. Okay. It's really, really important. Remember, macro before the micro. All right. Number 2, think big and think humble. Think big and think humble. that tugs on my heartstrings, and letting God stretch the event vision and size, not your imagination alone, is very important. I'm going to say that again. Let God stretch the event vision and size, not your imagination alone. Why? Because I'm created in his image, and he saw it and he spoke, which means that I have the potential to think of all kinds of elaborate things. But if my elaborate dreaming, which is very much appropriate, is outside of the parameters that, the lead visionary wants me to function inside of, then I am taking things past where they should actually be. Sometimes it's a little bit dangerous. We get a little zealous sometimes. We're excited. Look, because I'm the boss, understood the assignment. Sometimes we get so excited about what we're able to see that we run ahead of the timeline of what it is that's supposed to be happening. So thinking big, but thinking humble is very important. We don't want to overextend ourselves and what we actually do have because we got ahead of ourselves. Let's sit with this for a second. I'm not getting ahead of myself. Just because it's a part of the vision doesn't mean that it has to show up in real time today. Vision is for longevity. We are absolutely visionaries, but it doesn't mean what I saw last year is going to be manifest in this year. If I could see it, y'all, we have to remember that things take time to process. Things have to grow. Some of our businesses and the events that we want to do, our presence and our show up and our service does not even create the demand for that yet. So when I say that we serve, we sell, and we scale, you cannot scale without a serve. And if you do not serve, there's nothing that is of value to be sold. So we have to serve first. And in your serving, it may not be big and elaborate. So you can think big, but you also have to think humble. Why? We want to humble ourselves before the Lord. We are humbling ourselves before the Lord because he's placed greatness on the inside of us, but I'm still yielded and submitted to the timeline that he has. And it is a very deflating type of moment for us to have such big and elaborate, ideas and plans, and it not come together because we won't yield and submit to the smaller part of it, where the serve is beautiful and it is intimate and it's impactful. You are going to make that impact. It's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be huge. It's going to exceed your expectations. But the first thing you have to do as a visionary is think big, but also think humble. Don't get ahead of the vision. Okay. All right. Number three. Hear me. Is this thing on? Hear me. Build a team. What did you say, girl? Build a team. Write that in the comments. Tip number 3 is to build a team. That is paramount. I hope you know and understand that you don't have a cape. You are not a superhero. But you were sent by one. But you are not one. Yeah, right. You were not born with a cape, so don't grab one now. My goodness. Why? Because if you're thinking big, it's bigger than you. Your hands cannot do it alone. So as a visionary, geez Louise, you have to build a team. Next week, we're going to talk about interior design. I looked at my big 3 for today and I said, nope, we're going to do these visionaries and then we're going to come back because y'all going to have to talk to me real good, okay? You have to build the team. I don't mean and it's not anybody. It's not, oh, I'm available. What time you want me to be here? When we say build the team, not only are you not a hero, not only do you not have a cape. I like Yelena, by the way. Thunderbolts, just a random bonus for you guys. I like her. Sardonic-ish type of, attitude. I don't oppose it. But you want to have qualified people on your team. You want your team members to actually have some skill set in the thing that they're volunteering to do or that you're asking them to do. We talk about being intentional with your ask. You want to ask the right people to do the right things inside of your spaces. If you ask outside of where they have a skill set, you want to make sure that you make room to train them. But ultimately, regardless of where they are, as far as skill and qualification, the fact still remains that you need to build a team. And when you're first starting out, you might not have somebody who's got a certification in event planning to be your day of coordinator. That's understood. That is understood. But if you can give directions, if you can make it plain what it is that they need to do, Give them a picture and say, this is what this space needs to look like. This is the agenda. Keep us on time. Then absolutely allow them to do that. Why? Because you cannot do it by yourself. What's the point here? You are not a team. You are a person. And when you are in visionary mode, to the T, I'm telling you, you got 397 things running through your mind all at the same time. You are not equipped to manage and run your event and be the team. Do you understand what I'm saying? Respect. Last thing, number four, if you're tracking with me, drop 4 in the comments. Manage the mandate. Manage the mandate. Manage the mandate. Manage the mandate. I like this one. Well, Kenitra, why do you like this one? Because this is my life. I like this one because this is my life, and what is true for many of us. I know I'm not the only one. We are doing things that were instructed to us. There is a mandate on your life to do these things. You don't sleep all the way at night because there's a mandate for you to do a certain thing, to show up in certain places, to say something things. You don't escape having a mandate. There is an order. There's like a set order. Honor the mandate. Manage the mandate. That can honestly go so wide, because when there's a mandate for you to do a specific thing, sometimes it can go left, it can go right, and the lines can easily be blurred. So sitting with your vision is so important. Something that I heard this morning, I kid you guys not. Was it this morning? I think it was. No, it was yesterday. Stop running to the task before you sit with the vision. Stop running to the tasks before you sit with the vision. The vision is the anchor for what you are doing. What is the mandate attached to the vision? That should be what is driving your behavior and your actions, your conversations, how you are planning things, what the coordination is, who you invite into the room, who your speakers are going to be, when you show up and serve based on who your target audience is. You have to manage the mandate on your life, and you have to go back to the one who sent you in the first place. Please do not misunderstand the fact that you are in the earth for a purpose. Your business has a specific people to serve. There's a problem that you solve. Your story is a solution to somebody else's present distress. So we want to manage the mandate. Don't get stuck up on, remember, we talked about the micro. Tip 1 was think macro, not micro. We have to understand the macro and manage the mandate based on what the bigger picture is. The other details will come later, but you have to set the order and honor the order. Let me tell you something. Sometimes the visionary is the enemy of the vision. Why? Because the visionary has all these different points and metrics in their mind, and you as that visionary can pull people away from the main thing. Why? Because you have all of the things in your head, and all of the things are important. So let me say this. You might want to have somebody on your team who was to keep it in the middle of the road. You might want to have that person who understands what the vision is, and they're protected of the vision. You might want to have somebody who is a sergeant at arms, and they keep everything in proper orbit around what the actual mandate is and the mission is, on top of what your business is, on top of your vision, your event, the movement, your foundation, your ministry, your nonprofit, whatever it is. If you need somebody to help even you as a visionary stay anchored, invest in that person. Commit to that. Why? Because at the end of the day, you're managing your mandate. All right, y'all, that is it. Those are our tips for the visionary. Thank you all for the pivot today. I realize that there are several different things that are having to go on. I'm living out what you're saying, right? I got some things happening. I have a team member coming in to keep some things in the middle of the road. So let's do a real quick recap because of how you plan for impact. These are very, very important. You, the visionary. Number 1 is think macro vision before micro vision. Those details are not important if the bigger picture is not fully intact. Number 2 is to think big and think humble. Think big and elaborate, but experience that humility that comes with that journey, because to start, it's not going to be as big as you see it, but it doesn't mean that you're thinking big is wrong. It is forecasting, and that is okay. Think big, think humble. Number 3, build a team. You are not born with a cape, so don't go get one now. Build a team. Get some hands in that room so you don't overwhelm yourself. And then lastly, manage the mandate. You don't have permission to get distracted, go left, right back and forth. You are not Aaliyah. You did not write the song. You don't have permission to do it. You have to manage the mandate. So what is the mandate on your business, your ministry, your foundation, your nonprofit? What is that? Keep that the main thing. I love y'all super duper big. Hey, let me tell you something. If you want resources, I am your girl. You can click the link in the description and you can get, hey, you can get a free reset workbook. Why? Because sometimes as visionary, it's cluttered up there. I'm telling you, it's cluttered up there. You might just need a real quick reset. I got something coming later. But if you need something right now, click that link in the description. Get on that email list, and your first thing you're going to get is that reset workbook. If you're interested in strategy sessions, I'm telling you, you want to stay close. I would love to do a strategy session with you. Let's jump on a call, see where you are, what you're working on, and what we've got inside of the Kenitra Moselle resources that could help you. And maybe a strategy session is what you need. I'm excited for you. Hey, this is part 3 of planning for impact. And guess what? There is a full workbook for planning for impact. We've gone through 2 of the sections. I've given you some of these bonus tips for the visionary. And hey, we're going to wrap it up next week. I'm super duper excited. I want to let you know something is coming. Kenitra, what is coming? Y'all, that strategy session that I was talking about, I am going to run a 24-hour special after next week. Why? We have been talking and we have been, essentially talking through the things and doing the work. But I want to let you know that on August 27th through the 28th, we got 24 hours, y'all. And I'll get a little bit of a bonus time, okay? But you have until midnight on the 28th to lock in your strategy session for $197 instead of the $325. Let me tell y'all, that is a 90-minute session with me. You get a digital resource specifically, and we'll do a chat call to see what we should focus on. By the end of that session, not only will you have clarity, you will have some type of blueprint, whether it is for a plan for impact event, whether it is the strategy for how to plan your year out, whether you want to plan out your whole year, whether you want to organize a launch. Y'all, I'm telling you, we can get it done in 90 minutes. You don't want to miss it. It's only for 24 hours. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's only for 24 hours. So I'm excited to even offer this to y'all because why? You keep showing up. Every Thursday you are showing up here. And what do I like to do? I'm going to serve, I'm going to sell, and I'm going to scale. So, hey, don't miss it. Don't miss it. If you want to schedule a chat and see if it's a good fit for you, hey, go ahead and do it. If you already know, I need you to watch your email, because the link is going to be in your email. If you're not in our text list, I want to encourage you to get in our text list. You can text builder. All right, I'm going to put it on the screen. You can text builder to the number across the screen, 203-547-2962. Ooh. Hey, and you'll get a direct text message with the link in and say, hey, 197, go ahead and lock it in. It is your time. Don't miss it. I don't know when that's going to come back around again. In my Angela Davis era. I don't know when that's going to come back around again, but I'm so excited. All right, y'all, that is out. I am gone. I love you super big. Remember, arise, build an impact, and make sure that you serve, you sell, and you scale. I will see you next Thursday right here at 7 p.m.